Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be going over a very exciting collection. Lethal Cosmetics has decided to do an Avatar: The Last Airbender collection. I have all the products in this little Appa bag and I am so excited to show you guys everything because this is a very big collection for a small indie brand, and Lethal has some amazing, especially eyeshadows. That's what I have tried from them, and I haven't tried a ton from their line, so I'm actually really excited to go over everything. And you guys know I'm a sucker for a collab. I have seen Avatar, but I've only seen the live action show that's on Netflix. That's kind of how I got introduced to it. I was never really interested in watching the cartoon one growing up, but I really like the show on Netflix, so I kind of do want to go back and watch the cartoon one. I don't know, I thought it was really interesting. My husband and I watched it together. He liked it as well. So now that I'm like a little more familiar with the show, I am excited. And it seems like a lot of you guys are too. I've seen the comments of you guys like roasting Colourpop and saying that this is how you do a good collab. So I thought that was kind of funny. I mean, we all know Colourpop is a little bit more on the affordable side, so they're not gonna have the best quality. Lethal definitely kills it with their formulas though. I have like a little build your own palette of some singles that I've purchased on their website, and they seriously have some beautiful shimmers, and this collection really is so stunning. I can't wait to get into everything with you. We're doing 4 eye looks today because there's 4 palettes, so it's gonna be a lot. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, starting with this cute little bag. How fun is this? Let me take everything out of here, and then maybe I'll show you guys a close-up. The actual launch is going to be Friday, May 31st at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 a.m. Pacific. So let's go ahead and get into the eyeshadow palettes here. So instead of one eyeshadow palette, Lethal did one palette for each of the 4 elements, which is a main part of the show. We have the Earth palette here. I did take the outer boxes off, but the outer box is the exact same packaging as what the actual palette is. So this is the Earth palette, and here is the inside. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Look at these greens though. They did such a good job with these color stories. Each of the palettes have a nice mirror in it. I think that's a really nice touch. But yeah, these colors are so beautiful. There is a couple like shifty shades in here too, and a nice equal mix of mattes and shimmers. So this is a nice monochromatic earthy color story. So stunning. I will insert the swatches here as well because I only have my swatches on vertically this time, so it's gonna look a little bit smaller. But yeah, this really has some stunning shades in it. Okay, next up we have the Air palette. So this one looks like this, which of course represents most of the main character, Aang, in the show. This one is definitely not as monochromatic. There's a lot going on here. Like there's a bright red, a gold, like a blue, a purple, so a lot going on. But I do feel like the colors definitely represent the Airbenders. It's just definitely a palette that you're gonna have to get out of your comfort zone a little bit with. And I'll go ahead and insert the swatches here as well for you. Just so beautiful. Lethal kills it with their shimmers. Next we have the Fire palette, and of course this is going to be full of gorgeous, fiery, warm kind of reds and oranges. They have a nice dark black in here as well. And of course the swatches, this really packs a punch with some of those metallics. They just look like liquid metal. So beautiful. And lastly we have the Water palette, which looks like this, and this is another monochromatic palette. So most of the palettes are monochromatic, very easy to follow the color story and do looks with. I love blue tones and cool tones, so I'm super excited about this one. And here is the swatches of the Water palette. So those are the 4 eyeshadow palettes. They did such a good job with these color stories in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts down below. We also have 4 eyeliner sets with each of the elements as well, and it does have some of the main characters on the boxes. So this is the Toph liquid liner set. And this has one matte liquid liner and also a duochrome or metallic liquid liner. Now the stopper in my dark green broke, so it got a little bit messy. I don't know what happened, but these do have a really nice thin tip on them, and it makes it really easy to do precise liner, and it's really pigmented too. But you'll notice this one bleeds a little bit more because yeah, my stopper is just not working, so there's just excess product with that one, but that's the only one I had an issue with. And then they also have this like chrome shade too, which is like a blue to green duochrome. This is honestly so cool. Let's do the fire one next with Zuko. This one has a dark brown and another fun chrome shade. Here is the dark brown. And the chrome is definitely more of a gold to almost red shift. Here is Aang's set. This one has a fun kind of periwinkle blue and another chrome, like a pearly chrome. Here is the blue one swatched. And the chrome is like a pearl, but it definitely shifts kind of green and maybe a little orangey too. And then we have the water one for Katara, which again has like a dark blue matte and then a chrome that looks like almost blue to purple. Let's see it swatched here. Here is the dark blue matte. And yeah, definitely a blue purple shifty chrome. So pretty. So those are all of the liquid liners. Like I said, these are a really nice formula. We also have a fun highlighter in the collection. This is the White Lotus press highlighter. This is what the packaging is going to look like, and then here is the inside. It does have a little lotus imprint on it, and this is a really fun duochrome highlight. It's a little chunkier. You do see like the chunkier glitter flecks in it. This would be pretty as an eyeshadow too, but it has that pearl base, and then there is like a chrome to it. So it has like little red and orange shifts, very sparkly. It looks so good. I feel like swatched. I feel like on the skin when you apply it, it looks a little bit darker. But yeah, that looks so pretty. Swatched. Oh my gosh. There's also a little sponge in the collection. Now, since I've only watched the show, I don't know. I don't get the reference with this one, but it's called My Cabbage, and it's like a little cabbage. It has the cabbage imprint, and then it says Avatar: The Last Airbender on the back. I did not try this one out, but it does look really cute. There is this little glitter gel in the collection as well. This is the Sokka shade, and this is so pretty. Oh my gosh. If you want to amp up the sparkle, this is definitely what you want to use. How pretty is that? It looks like there's so many different colors going on. There's like red, purple, blue, green. I would say the most shift you get from this when I'm seeing it, it looks like it shifts more purple to green. But it is very sparkly, very pretty, a little chunky, a little sticky, but I think this would be such a pretty eye topper for some extra glitter. Now there also is lip products in the collection too. They didn't have them ready to send out yet, but they should be ready when you guys order. So you'll have to check Lethal's Instagram for the looks of the lipsticks, and I think there might be a gloss. I know they have swatches too on their YouTube page. And then just a close-up again of the bag. I think this will be for sale. It looks so cute. It has so many nice little details too. Here is the little zipper. This is the back of it. It's nice and big. It holds a lot, and the inside even has some imprints too. That is so cute. I know a lot of you guys are excited about the bag. So that's a look at all the products, and I am going to be doing 4 different looks with each palette, plus trying out all the other products too. So let's go ahead and get into the looks. We're going to start off with the water palette here. I do love my kind of icy cool blue tone, so I'm really excited about this color story. What I'm going to do here is go in with Penguin Sledding, and we're going to place this in the inner part of the crease, a little bit in my inner corner as well. Then to build a little depth, we'll go in with this brighter blue. This is called Water Whip. I'm going to place this here in the outer half, just connecting with the light blue. This is just a technique I like to do when I want to use like a lot of shades and have some dimension, just to test out quite a bit in the palette here. I am really focusing on some good blending here. I do find these darker blues to be just a slight bit hard to blend. So I am just making sure I am going back and forth. I'm bringing it down a little bit as well into my outer corner, but really making sure it's all nice and blended. Also using that same Penguin Sledding light blue here on the lower lash line, and just kind of melting it in with the same mid-tone blue that we used in the outer half. With that same tiny brush, I'm going to go in with the darkest blue, Wolf Cove, and really lightly kind of press this in the very outer half. This isn't really the best brush for this, but I'm just kind of making a base here and then blending out with a little more fluffy brush. Next, we're going to take this shade called Kuruk and place this on the lid. That's really pretty. It almost shifts like blue-green. I was wondering if it would look purple on the eyes, but no, it's definitely like a fun blue-green color. Gives off like a little mermaid vibe. Very pretty. I think I'll take a little bit of this light icy blue too called Agna Quela and add this in that inner portion, just blending in with the other shimmer. Even though those blue mattes, I feel like were a little bit hard to work with, I do think that the look came out really beautifully. As per usual, when I do blue looks, I love a good white waterline. So just adding some white liner here. And just putting a little more periwinkle blue here in the inner corner just so that shade really pops. Here's our finished look using the Avatar water eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna add lashes, I think, for most of these looks, because when I do color, I do love a little half lash. I probably won't do the rest of my makeup just because there is a lot of palettes here, and we'll just focus on the rest of the makeup with one palette. But I think it turned out so pretty. Definitely very monochromatic blue, but I love that we have some different dimension with the shimmers in here. Next palette we're going to play with is the Air palette, and I do feel like this one has a little bit more of a unique color story. It's not fully monochromatic. I feel like it's a little bit more difficult, a little more challenging with these different shades. And I was thinking like maybe for this look I can try something with the eyeliners. I'm not big on liquid liners, so I won't be using them for all my looks, but I wanted to incorporate it with something, so I thought maybe this would be the palette to try it with. Let's go ahead and start with the Sky Bison. I'm going to keep it a little more neutral on the eyes and place this just all over in the crease area. You just want to kind of keep this very soft. And then on the lower lash line, I'm actually going to take the darker brown. This is called Glider. And I'm going to kind of just blend this along there. I'm not going to put it in my outer corner though, because I do want to keep that open to use the eyeliner. But yeah, I'm just kind of going to smoke this along the bottom here. I'm going to take this shimmer called Moon Peach, and this is just a very nice natural champagne color. This is just going to be smooth all along the lid. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is stunning. I feel like this color has so much pigment to it. Like most shades that might look like this in the pan, I feel like they sheer out so much as you blend it. But this one, yeah, it stays like really strong and very metallic. So pretty. Okay, now I want to use the blue liner for this look. Let's see how it will look with this. And I'm just going to spread this all along. I suck at liquid liner, but we're going to try and make this look really cool. I usually just do the straight across line first, and then I'll do the wing last. This has really good pigmentation right off the bat, which is nice. Because some colorful ones, I feel like they're so sheer you have to keep building. This one is just like, boom, you get the pigment right off the bat. Alright, so I'm nervous for this part, but let's try to do a wing. Not too shabby, honestly. This does a pretty good job. It's such a nice, thin, precise liner. I'm going to take a little bit of Aang and put this in the inner corner of the eye. It might not really show up that much, but you know, just to have that little pop of blue. I mean, this is very icy, so it doesn't really look super blue, but I don't know, I thought this would be pretty in the inner corner. Just cleaning that up with concealer here and really sharpening that line. It is a little bit more of a thin line, so it's kind of more natural. But sometimes I feel like if I go too thick, then I just start messing it up, and then I have to keep adding to both sides. I just kind of feel like this look is missing something, so let me try fluffing in that shimmer a little higher. Because I don't know, it's just feeling like it's not feeling complete. So maybe if I blend it a little bit more with the brown, it'll look a little better. So here's our final look with the Air palette. This one I just did mascara so that you could see the liner a little bit more. This is definitely out of my comfort zone, but I am glad we kind of experimented a little, because I think this palette is really the perfect one to kind of do some fun liner with. So I'm glad we got to kind of try out both today. And yeah, I thought the liner was actually really easy to use, and it's staying really well. It's not irritating my eyes. Super pigmented, so it's a really nice colored liner for sure. Am I going to use this very often? Definitely not, but it's just not really a makeup item I like to use that much, but I am glad we got to play with it a little bit today on this look. Next, we're on to the Fire palette here. If you love warm tones, this is definitely going to be your palette. I love that they have a nice black in this one. I will tell you, I don't wear a lot of reds, so let's see what we can come up with here. Because yeah, red's just not my fave, but I do love a good kind of bronzy orange look. I feel like really brings out my blue eyes. So yeah, let's see what we can do with this. We're going to start in the crease with Imperial City. And I'll just kind of place that more in this inner half again. And then we'll darken with Ember Island, placing this in the outer half here and blending out. That actually placed like a lot of color, so blending is definitely key, I've noticed, with these matte formulas. I think I want just like a slightly bigger brush here, just something a little bit fluffier, so I'm using this BK Beauty one. And really blending and buffing that shade here in the outer corner. I do want to add just a tiny bit of the black. I want to see how this does blending, called a Black Sun. So I'm just taking the smallest amount, and we're going to really deepen up the outer corner with this. Definitely seems to be building pretty well. It's almost looking a little bit of like a dark brown, which I actually do like. I do not like a super harsh black. So I think this one has a nice kind of medium pigmentation where you can leave it lighter if you want to, or work on building it up. On the lower lash line, let's go in with Ember Island. Just using the shade first to smoke out, and then adding in just a tiny bit of Black Sun on top of that. Just like the smallest amount, just so we can keep it kind of the same pigmentation that's in the outer corner and keep that depth. I feel like this orange would be so fun to play with, but I just don't know if I'm feeling that dark one right now. Honestly, you know what I'm kind of feeling? I'm a neutral girl at heart, so I really want to go in with the Dancing Dragon. Ugh, but I want to try more shades. So let's take a tiny bit of Fire Lily and press this on the lid here. These do perform much better with a finger. Yeah, I don't really like that. So let me actually take my finger. They just melt so much better. Yeah, that's like a huge difference. So I'm just pressing this here on the outer half. And then we're going to take the Dancing Dragon on the rest of the eye here. Oh, that's so pretty. It's like liquid gold. Oh my gosh. Just gonna kind of blend that together. If you need to touch up again with your outer corner, sometimes I like to do that just because our shimmers do like to take over, so I like to kind of go back in. I'm just taking that black again very lightly and just adding a little bit more in the outer corner so we don't lose the depth there. But that looks really good, I think. Just kind of a nice, more warm neutral look that works for my taste. Here's the completed look with the Fire palette, and yes, I did a full face this time because I am testing out some stuff for another video, my Sephora haul, but this is one of my favorite looks yet, honestly. I am saving, I think, my favorite palette for last. We'll see. But this is beautiful. I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of like these 3 shades here, but overall, this is definitely something I would wear for a really nice, just like everyday, super nice glam, a little warm tone, but not too orange, not too red. So pretty. And now we only have one more palette left to try. Last look, and this is the one that I had on in the beginning of the video. We're gonna play with the Earth palette, which I'm so looking forward to. I love greens, earthy tones, so this is definitely right up my alley. Let's go ahead and start with 575, which is this really fun kind of swampy lime green. And of course this will go in the inner corner here and into the crease. Love having a bright lime color in the inner corner like that. I think it is so fun. Next we'll go with this darker, slightly darker, kind of milky green. This is Ba Sing Se. See? I don't know all of the characters. I've only seen, again, the live action show on Netflix, so I don't know everyone, but I really do kind of want to watch the cartoon. Okay, so yeah, I was wondering how close those would be, but I can definitely see that this one is a little bit deeper in tone. Using a little more fluffy brush, I'm going to go into Omashu, this kind of warm brown. Taking that in the outer corner. Definitely blending really, really nicely with this brush. It's very soft, but you still get really great pigmentation. Taking that color on the lower lash line as well. Now I've had my eye on this shade in the palette as soon as I swatched it because it almost shifts like greenish purple, and I'm so curious to see how this is going to look. It's called Metal Bending. So let's go ahead and place this on. Okay, yeah, in the swatch, it almost looks more purple mixed on the eyes, and it's going to depend what you pair it with. I definitely see more of the green, but it is very pretty. The shade is also speaking to me. It's a little more flaky. This is Kyoshi, and it's like a green, almost pinky gold shift, and I want to put this in the inner corner. Ooh, that's very sparkly. But yeah, you can definitely see those flakes in the light. They look almost like a pinky rose gold. I want that a little more diffuse, so I'm just going to take my brush and swirl it around. Ooh, that's pretty. I would definitely say this is a very earth-toned look with the greens and browns. I think it came out really nice. I really like this, and yeah, I could definitely see this being one of my favorites in the collection. I'll try to like rank them at the end, but let me clean this up, put some lashes on, and I'll show you guys the final look. Okay, we have to also try the highlighter. I almost forgot about this, but this looks so beautiful. This is their pressed highlighter in White Lotus, which is this fun kind of shifty shade. Let's put a little bit on the face. Ooh, she is sparkly. That is for sure. It has like this almost like red orange kind of sparkle. A little red for my personal taste. You could definitely see the little red flakes on the skin. It kind of matches though with our inner corner, which is kind of fun. So that is the finished look. Let's go ahead and get into my thoughts so far. So overall, this collection I feel like is done so well, and I'm just so surprised coming from a smaller indie brand like Lethal to do such a big collection. I feel like this probably took so much work for them, but they really killed it. They really knocked it out of the park and did such a good job in sticking true to the series, and I feel like the fans are going to absolutely love this. Even as like I feel like even a non-Avatar watcher would really like some of these products as well, because genuinely they're just really cool color stories, especially in these eyeshadow palettes. I have to say, definitely my favorite palette, of course, is the Earth palette. I mean, I just love these greens and browns. Probably the one I'm going to get the most use out of for sure. Honestly, so surprised how much I love the Fire palette too. Honestly, this might be my second favorite. I feel like it's definitely a little more wearable for color. I loved our look we did with this. It's definitely something I would wear all the time. I probably won't use like the bright red quite as much in this palette, but everything else I feel like it's definitely more of a little slight colorful neutral palette, and I really, really liked it. Next favorite is definitely the Water palette. I thought this was going to be my second favorite, but I think just wearability, I do love my blues, but it's not something I'm going to reach for all the time. Like, I can't reach for this to do a photo shoot at the boutique I work at. It's just a little out there for me. So I did rank this one a little bit under the Fire palette. Plus, I felt like the darker shades in this palette were a little bit harder to blend. I didn't have as much trouble with these two palettes at all. So this one's third place. And then fourth place is the Air palette, mostly just because this color story is just a little bit hard for me to kind of picture looks with, picture what's gonna go together. I love colorful looks, but I usually try to keep it a little more monochromatic. I did kind of step out of the box using the liners with this one, but yeah, it's probably my least favorite overall, but still like really great quality. Honestly, the shimmers are just outstanding in these, and honestly some of the best indie shimmers that I have tried. They definitely rank towards the top. These really blew me away. These liner sets are definitely a nice touch if you're one that likes to kind of be a little more creative with your makeup and you like to like experiment with different colors. You do a little more kind of like different, more extravagant looks. I think you'll really like these. Honestly, the formula was really great. I was impressed myself as someone who never does winged liner because I always mess it up, how easy it was with these because they're so thin. They're just not kind of something that I would wear a lot, but if it sounds like it's up your alley or you feel like some of the shades, definitely check them out. I think they're a really good formula. The glitter gel is really pretty, a little bit sticky, but if you guys have tried those Colourpop glitter gels, this has a better formula. I think you get a more even glitter application, so really great formula if you guys want to add a little extra sparkle. And then the highlighter, I don't know if this is one I personally am going to use a lot. It's just not really a color that I would typically go for. I'm not one to wear a lot of like the shifty highlights like this, and I definitely feel like it's very noticeably pinky red, so I prefer those kind of colors on my eyes, not so much on my cheeks, but that's not definitely everyone's opinion, just my opinion. If you guys do like these kind of fun shades, I feel like if you have like a more medium skin tone, this will honestly look beautiful. Medium to deep skin tone, I think you'll pull this off really nicely. But yeah, I don't know if it's for me, but it's fun, just not my taste. Anyways, I can't wait to try the lip products when those arrive. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on everything. Definitely for me, the must-haves are the eyeshadow palettes for sure. Those are just so fun, such beautiful color stories, even if you're not a huge Avatar fan, because I'm not even the biggest fan. I literally just watched the show this year, and not even the main cartoon that has like all the seasons. So I'm impressed. Lethal did such a great job. Again, this is going to be launching May 31st. I'll have the info in my description box. I don't think they do any codes or anything like that. I do not have a code, and I did see that even though this is kind of limited edition, if people keep requesting it, they will continue to keep it in stock. So anyways, let me know your thoughts on this collection. Are you picking anything up? Which look was your favorite? Which palette is your favorite? Let me know down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.